Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nuke coming at you from Day Trading with Nuke, and I wanted to give you a quick little update on my computer build. So I made a couple of little boo-boos, not big, but they're little, and I'm 100% transparent. I'm going to tell you what I did wrong when I do it wrong. And I had a couple of people asking me some questions, and so I'm just going to beat the dead horse a little bit. So let's get right into it and do my screen share. There we go. All righty. So what happened, guys? I had a few guys asking me, hey, Nuke, you know this motherboard is overkill, right? Absolutely. I agree 100%. It's way the hell overkill. However, I run redundant, uninterruptible UPS power supplies, battery backups on my computer. I also have UPSs on my router and modem. Now, I realize if, like what happened last year when somebody run a truck into a telephone pole a couple of blocks from my house and they shut down not only the power but the internet. I also have one of the little Verizon backup Wi-Fi hotspots. So I like to have Wi-Fi on my computer as well as having the internet plugged in via hard cable through the LAN. I like both. So in the event the power goes down, the battery backup keeps that going up and running, and it keeps up the internet as well. However, if the internet goes out and the power went out, I have a backup that I keep running of a mobile hotspot. And since the computer doesn't die because of the backup power supply, it takes a second or so for it to swap over to the next available hotspot or Wi-Fi connection, and bam, we're still in business. Minimal downtime. That's why I do it. All right, so that would put me at about $120 motherboard. Yes, I could go cheaper, about $70. Spend the extra money, get the high quality stuff. I keep these computers for years and years, and that's where the extra quality that goes into the top of the line flagship motherboards really starts to shine. It's not that I'm going to use any of, or most of these extra features that you can find on the top of the line boards. I'm not going to use a lot of that stuff, at least not right now. But the longevity is what I'm paying for. That being said, let's move to the next problem. Storage solutions. One of the things I liked about the X470 boards is they come with this AMD storage technology. I'm going to provide a link down below to this video. It's a third-party bro who's doing these videos. Good guys, good information. They're really smart up there. And they attended a conference with AMD, and they got these slides directly from AMD. So yes, it is third-party material, but they're showing you exactly what was said by AMD during that press conference. So what I noticed was all of this is true, and load up the video here. You'll be able to get it for yourself. But what happens is I bought this dude, which is the 500 gigabyte version of this guy. And I did not realize at the time that I made my purchase that the cap is 250 gigabytes, not 500 gigabytes. So I'm going to have to return the 5, go back and purchase the 250, which happens to be half the price. Now, what that lets me do is get all of the speed out of the NVMe drive and couple that with a regular style fast. It's fast. It's one of the fastest on the market's mechanical hard drives. But rather than pay for the one I bought, which I'm going to return this one too, is the 2 terabyte FireCuda solid state hard drive, which was a little faster because you have the SSD built in. It's a small SSD, but it helps with that buffering, and it acts more like a SSD drive than a hard drive. So rather than spend the money on this, I'm going to take and get double the capacity by going to this 4 gig, right? But I'll still get all of the speed of the NVMe drive. So basically, I'm going to merge the two, and I'll have the fastest of the fastest of the fastest with the NVMe drive, and it's going to have 4 terabytes. Is plenty enough space. And then any extra storage solutions I need after that, That's going to most likely be handled with external hard drives. I'll just dump the material over and then store it. Last but not least, I forgot to add this to you, Cryonaut. I used Cryonaut from Thermal Grizzly. They're pretty good. The Thermal Take stuff is nearly as good. What I like about this stuff is it tends to clean off really well if I need to redo something or I go back in. It doesn't harden up like other stuff, and it really comes back off easily. But I always use it. I remembered to order it, but I did not remember to explicitly tell you bros about going get it for yourself. So if you're going to be building a PC, make sure you get yourself some Thermal Grizzly paste. Just about everything else I could even think of is going to be included with the stuff that I shared with you. And to be honest, I can't remember if I shared this part or not, but it's good stuff. I use it. I like it. It's relatively cheap. If you want to go cheap, get the cheap. It'll cost you $5. For the extra $4, I like using this stuff because, to me, it's worth it. All right, guys, that's all I've got. I hope this helps you out. And if you're going to be building yourself a new computer, whether you go off of my recommendations or you go totally the opposite and whatever, send it to me. I'd love to see what you're building. And also, so since we're starting to get these parts in, I'm going to be doing an unboxing so y'all can see the actual components. And then a bunch of people have asked me for build video. So yeah, I know this isn't really trade related stuff, but guess what? You're only as good as your hardware allows you to be. Now, I'm not saying the hardware makes the man by all means. You the man behind the computer. It's up to you to push the buttons and make that trade. Problem is you can't trade shit when your computer goes down. So whether it's a internet failure, whether it's just bad communication, whether you're lagging out, whether your system's sitting there like hiccuping, whatever it is. And that's the bottom line on this one. This computer still works damn good. But every day that I trade, my money is tied up in this machine. If this machine goes down or has a glitch or any way hicks up, that's my money that's on the line. My money. So it's made me plenty of money, and I love the old girl. I'm not going to get rid of her. She'll be a redundant backup. You know, she'll be on the other desk, still capable of doing her job. But day in and day out, she's starting to get a couple of little glitches here and there. She's showing her age. She's over 10 years old of hard use, rode hard, put up wet. So I'm going to, build this new computer and make an investment of the money that I've already made into making sure that in the future, the money that I'm going to make has the best toolage to operate from. No, I'm not saying you got to have 4 screens, 5 screens, 6 screens. I'm not saying you got to have, the racehorse of the computers to get this done. You don't. You can get, I started out, I was trading on just my laptop, which is a crappy ass little $500 laptop that I can hardly work a Word document for school on. You do what you got to do to get where you want to be. But that being said, along the way, once you put a couple of coins away, don't be afraid to spend a couple of dollars to provide yourself with the tools you need to make a living. That's all I got. Guys, it's Sunday. I will be here, God willing, bright and early by 5 a.m. on Pacific Standard Time on Monday to crank out a watch list and start pounding this stuff down. If you're with TrickTrades, God bless us. We pound points, not pennies. And I know this isn't a trade video, so I'm going to probably put a whole different section on the YouTube for where we put this stuff in. But if you like it and you think it's doing you some good, send me those comments. Send me your build notes. Anything, man. Just dump it. Let's hear what you got to say. Make this a two-way. All right, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow morning at the start of trading. Good luck. Stay green.